Hi, Teddies. I wrote this first song. I was trying to write from the perspective of someone who makes a living on stage, trying to get a feeling or a story across to a bunch of people. It could be a teacher or a performer or a preacher. There's a great deal of energy created in this kind of exchange, and everyone has to deal with it, positive or negative, at the end of the night, especially the person who's on the stage when they go back to their hotel or their house, and they're still probably living on the stage. Also, I didn't realize that when I wrote this song that it could be about TED Talks. That's called Writing for the Feeling. It's never easy to say goodbye. To the faces so rarely do we see another one so close and so long. I asked the room if I'd said enough, and no one really answered. They just said, don't go, don't go, don't go, don't go, don't go. Well, all this leaving is never ending. I kept hoping for one more question, or for someone to say, who do you think you are? So I could tell them with intensity, a drop evaporates by law. In conclusion, leaving is easy when you've got someplace you need to be. Oh, I'm giving up this gig for another season. With the TV on mute, I'm listening back to the tapes on my hotel bed. My apocalypse. My apocalypse. I realized I had said very little about waves or wheels, or riding for the feeling. I'm riding for the feeling. The fastest way to reach the shore, on water or land. Riding for the feeling. What if
I had stood there at the end and said again and again and again, in answer to every question, riding for the feeling, I'm riding for the feeling, I'm riding for the feeling. And as I'm riding, I am riding, I'm riding for the feeling. I'm riding for the riding, I'm riding for the feeling. Would that have been a suitable goodbye?
Thanks. This next song is a husband's instructions to his wife in the event of his death. It's called Dress Sexy at My Funeral.
Dress sexy at my funeral, my good wife. Dress sexy at my funeral, my good wife. Wear your blouse undone to here, and your skirt split up to there. Oh, dress sexy at my funeral, my good wife. Dress sexy at my funeral, my good wife. Wink at the minister, blow kisses to my grieving brothers. Oh, dress sexy at my funeral, my good wife. Dress sexy at my funeral, my good wife. When it comes your turn to speak before the crowd, tell them about the time we did it on the beach with fireworks above us. On the railroad tracks with the gravel in your back. In the back room of a crowded bar. And in the very graveyard where my body will rest. Oh, dress sexy at my funeral, my good wife. Dress sexy at my funeral, my good wife. And also tell them about how I gave to charity. And tried to love my fellow man as best I could. But most of all, don't forget about the time on the beach. the fireworks above us, all dressed sexy at my funeral, my good wife. Dressed sexy at my funeral, my good wife.
Thank you. This next song, I wrote it, I think, in about 2006. I noticed America was becoming more and more downtrodden on itself. And I was used to hearing anti-American sentiment around the world from traveling around, playing music for 25 years. I've been to England. But when I got back to America and heard it from within the country, there was time I felt that I needed to write a love letter to America. It's called America, with an exclamation point.
America, 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 you are so grand and golden. I wish I was deep in America tonight. America, America, I watched David Letterman in Australia. Oh, America, you are so grand and golden. I wish I was on the next flight to America. Captain Christopherson, look, Sergeant Newberry, Leatherneck Jones, Sweet George Jones, Sergeant Cash. What an army, what an air force, what a marine, America. I never served my country, America. Afghanistan and Vietnam, Native American and Iran. America, Well, everyone's allowed a past they don't care to mention. In America, it's hard to raise a hog in Delta, and it can get tense round the Bible Belt. Oh, oh, oh. In America, America. America, the lucky suckle teat of this chaw pig knuckle meat. Ain't enough teat, ain't enough teat, ain't enough teat. Ain't enough teat, ain't enough teat, ain't enough to eat. In America, America. Thank you.